Hello, Richard Simon Kahn here of Golden Sun Astrology, and I'm the resident astrologer at the Crystal Matrix, the current resident astrologer, and I'm giving you a little forecast, some highlights of what we might expect for October. There's a couple of really interesting things going on. And first of all, the first major element that we're experiencing now is Jupiter. Jupiter has gone into Libra. It actually went into Libra in the middle of September, but we're having this messy Mercury retrograde, and it kind of diluted the effects of Jupiter. But since the Sun went into Libra on September 22nd, and Jupiter is well established in Libra now, we're starting to feel that. So you may be noticing people are more sociable. You go out and people just seem to be a little bit more harmonious, a little bit more adaptable, and allowing for things to happen. And this is good. Jupiter brings expansion. Jupiter makes us feel good. It's come out of an earth sign where our attention is on things, and it's gone into an air sign, so it's rising up. There's communication, there's sharing, there's maybe more enthusiasm for artistic pursuits, that you're feeling more artistic, and some of those ideas that you've had that you haven't been able to get to, they're starting to come off the shelf, or maybe some books that you haven't read. Even the fact that the Crystal Matrix is producing these videos, this is a project that's evidently been on the shelf for a couple of years, but now it's suddenly come into being, and so here we are communicating and expanding our outreach to people, and so this is some of the action that Jupiter produces in us. It's also a great time that if you've been wanting to connect with some people, maybe start getting involved in some groups, or just creating some closer bonds with friends that you haven't seen for a while. This is a great time, and you'll probably find yourself stepping up into that, getting some ideas of what can bring you together, and enjoying that. And these are things that are going to help you grow and help all those who are involved grow. And so that's one of the things that Jupiter in Libra will help bring to us. Also, Venus is in Libra as well right now, and for most of October, Venus will be in Libra as well, and so that adds to it. Venus is the ruling planet of Libra. Venus rules relationships. It rules our feelings about things, our passions to a certain degree. And in Libra, it's very balanced, and again, it's very sociable. We want to be together. We want to communicate. We want things to be harmonious. And also, Libra is about justice. Libra is about fairness, and so there's a lot of issues that we'll see coming to the surface of how fair are things being handled. And this will be on both a social level, a national level, and also on a personal level, that we get to see, okay, are we really being fair about how we respond to people or how we treat people? So Jupiter brings us this nice energy overall, very nice, and it's especially noticeable now because of the shift. That we're just in the very beginning, and Jupiter's actually going to be in Libra for most of the next 12 months. So this will be a good time to pull things out and to work on things, and especially any of you who are born with the Sun in Libra, or who have major planetary aspects happening in Libra, you'll feel this even more. This will be more helpful to you. This will create opportunities and open doors and kind of reboot your enthusiasm for certain things. It's a good happening. So that's the Libra side of things. And then one other aspect I'd like to address in terms of the astrological weather for this month that is kind of a more serious one is that around the 14th and the 15th, the weekend of October 14th and 15th, that's Friday and Saturday, we have a full moon to begin with, which of course is always exciting, and it's a full moon. The moon is in Aries because the moon is opposite the Sun. The Sun is in Libra, and this is always a very energized full moon because Libra, the Sun in Libra is in a cardinal sign, the moon in Aries is in a cardinal sign. Air and fire are very energetic, And with the moon in a fire sign, we all feel that energy of the full moon. We feel that energy coming through, and the full moon always magnifies our feelings anyway. But with a little bit of inspiration from a fire sign like Aries, there's a lot more impulsiveness, there's a lot more energy, and I'm trying to remember a phrase that a friend once used of a high energy, low intelligence vibration, that we can get carried away with our energy, and the intelligent aspect may not be functioning quite as well. So it can be very impulsive. Then added to this full moon, we have the planet Mars, who is the ruler of Aries. Mars is moving into a conjunction with the planet Pluto, and Pluto is a pretty heavy-duty planetary energy. That Pluto brings to the surface the stuff that we have swept under the rug, the things we don't want to deal with, the ugly truths about how things operate and what goes on, and also our obsessions, the things that we really obsess about, where we get locked into an idea or we feel we have to have something. And Pluto in particular has been about, in Capricorn, has been about control and structure, and it has to do with those in authority. And this authority element is very easy to identify on a social level, because you look at anybody who's in a position of authority, whether you start with the president or you go all the way down to, you know, the assistant supervisor of the shipping department, who's got, you know, 2 clerks working under her, and who feels her, you know, her authority to tell them what to do. We're dealing with how do people handle their authority, and Pluto tends to be very controlling. That when that energy is there, and then Mars is coming in and really infusing that. And so I think you'll find, and we'll see, especially at this full moon time, this October 14th and 15th, that anybody who's in a position of authority, and this includes also parents. Parents are very big authority figures, although you may not feel like it all the time. But in fact, you are, if you're a parent or a grandparent, you're an authority figure in your household. And so there's this energy that may be encouraging you or prompting you to really assert your control, and to be offended when you feel that things are moving out of your control, that you really want to lay down the law. You want to bring out the iron fist and say, hey, wait, this isn't going to go like that. So it's kind of a warning there that for all the rest of us who happen to be dealing with these authority figures, to be aware that they're going to be a little bit more sensitive. They're going to be feeling the need to be assured that they are in control. And so if you're going to challenge somebody, if you're going to confront your boss or somebody that you work with or your partner or whoever, if you're going to confront somebody in over an authority issue, you better make sure that it's really worth it, because this could be a very volatile time. But with Mars in the mix, people can be very aggressive. They could respond very aggressively. They could feel very threatened and feel therefore that they have to really take action to reassert their authority and to show that they are boss and that you are supposed to be listening and following them, which of course most of us don't like anyway, but that's the dynamic that's going on. And so it's really important to be aware of this, because it's going to be very powerful, particularly for all the cardinal signs, for Libras, Capricorns, Cancers, and who's the other one? And Cancers, and who's my other cardinal sign? Aries, for Aries, the fire sign. And so very important to be aware of what's going on with that, and to just be watchful. And particularly, I would say, this came up in a number of readings that I was doing for different clients. And so I would also say, particularly for the women in our audience here, to be aware of who you're associating with on that weekend, because this is a very volatile combination. And so if you're involved with a crowd, that let's say you usually go out and you're drinking on the weekends, or you're partying someplace, and of course alcohol loosens our are reserves anyway, and then you add a full moon on top of that, and then you add this Pluto conjunction with Mars on top of that, and you've got a really, really potent mix that could just turn on a dime and explode into something that nobody was expecting to happen. And so I would say that for everybody in general to be aware of the environments that you're in. If you're out going somewhere, you're in neighborhoods that are kind of sketchy, be aware of your surroundings. Look at what's going on around you and kind of be aware. And if it feels like, hey, this isn't so good, get out of there. Don't mess with it over this weekend, because you don't want to find who's affected by this and who isn't. Just if it seems like it might not be the best place for you, get out. And if you are in some place that you're with some people that you don't really know that well, and so you're not totally sure how much you can really trust them, how safe you feel with them, make sure you've got an exit plan. Have an exit plan so that if things start to get weird, you can just say, okay, good night, I'm out of here. It's been fun. See you next week. So those are the two biggest things that are going on, and there are other things. And if you want to know more, I'd suggest you could call in and make an appointment. I'd be glad to meet with you and look at your own chart and see what's going on. You could also check other places and see what some of the other planetary influences are. But those are the two big ones, and I want to share that because I think it can be an important one. So in wrapping it up here, whatever's going on for you, we're on a wild ride anyway. We're in a world in transition right now. The planetary energies are very accelerated, and so just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, and remember that the universe is always on time. And so whatever's happening, it's going to be the right timing for you, and it'll work out. And so you can just take that deep breath and relax, and then see where's the next step for you. So you have a great rest of the month. Look forward to hearing from some of you, and namaste.